A councilman is coming out as transgender and a woman of color. Delaware County Councilman Webb announced that he now identifies as an Indian American woman.
A formerly white councilman named Webb now actually identifies as a lesbian woman of color. I like his style. Welcome back to the JP Reacts channel, my beautiful freedom-loving friend, where we like to call out the lies, hypocrisy, and corruption of tyrants, shine the light of awareness on woke absurdities, and highlight the amazing work of other freedom fighters. Side note, speaking of freedom, the now all-time best-selling hat in the Freedom merch collection, Freedom Isn't Free. It's available in my shop as part of the 4th of July collection, hashtag Independence Day, hashtag freedom, hashtag screw you British tyrants and current tyrants. Link is in the description below, or you can hit it at awakenwithjp.com. Now, let's take a look at the brilliant, admittedly trolling job, but also the people in the woke community who do this kind of stuff seriously. They too are trolling reality. They just don't know they're trolling reality. They think they're actually being serious, which makes the whole situation hilarious, but also a problem because it's invading the minds of children, which we have to protect. So this lesbian woman of color, Webb, he made an appearance on Piers to talk about why he was doing what he was doing, made a point. It was certainly heard in the woke community and certainly not appreciated in the woke community, which means point well taken. But before we get to that Piers clip, let's take a look at a local news station who covered it. And here was the amazing thing. And this is evidenced on End Wokeness, their Twitter page, which I think they're a great Twitter follow. They mentioned the best part, the media being forced to take him seriously. Because if they don't take him seriously, then they don't take seriously the other nut jobs that are being serious as they're trolling reality without knowing they're trolling reality. So that's the best part. This clip we're gonna watch is from a local news station who had to take him seriously. Joke's on you, media.
A councilman is coming out as transgender and a woman of color. Delaware County Councilman Webb announced that he now...
Did she just call him a councilman? I do not appreciate that misgendering.
...identifies as an Indian American woman. Since that announcement, he's received some support, but a lot of backlash, many calling him childish,
No, it's great. And you see the pride flag there. He does have the hate symbol of the American flag in that message. That's actually the only inaccurate thing about his trolling job is he put an American flag in there. Next time he'll have to get those details better.
Even calling for things like execution. In a statement Webb gave to ITMate, he says, quote, "It is unfortunate that I cannot simply be given the same space and respect to explore my identity that so many of those targeting me demand for themselves. It's possible I may change my mind down the road. The process of identity exploration is complex, and oftentimes at the end of our personal journey, we end right back where we started." Webb goes on to tell ITMate this is just his true, authentic self.
We oftentimes end up right where we started. Yeah, we do, don't we? Yes, if you let reality be part of your life. Now, he made an appearance on Piers talked about it. Let's take a look at a couple quick clips from that show.
Well, Webb joins me now, alongside Talk TV's Nicola Thorpe, Esther Cracker, as I just said. Well, Ryan, thank you for joining me. So I did chuckle because I had a similar thing myself, which you may or may not have heard about when I did a similar stunt. But you were making the same point, I think, which is if we really want to have a world where anyone can identify as anything, well, why shouldn't you be able to identify as a woman of color?
Which, by the way, I appreciate the diversity in this segment. You have 2 women of color, and one of them is a lesbian. That was great diversity.
Well, Piers, you're absolutely right, and I appreciate it. I want to thank you for bringing me on the show. And as a fellow lesbian woman of color, I feel we have a deep connection here. But you're right. They've laid the groundwork. They set it up where anybody can be anything that they want just by simply declaring it.
Just declare it. That reminds me of the old Office episode where Michael Scott, he was going bankrupt. I think it was Toby, the HR guy that Michael Scott hates. He's like, well, you have to declare bankruptcy. Michael Scott goes out in the office and says, I declare bankruptcy. It's just absurd. Oh, what's even more absurd is just declaring you're something you're not and pretending that it is so simply because you declared it. Did you just say that? No. I declared it. So it obviously alters the fabric of the universe because I declared it.
And, that's what we're doing here. And it turns out that they don't really feel as strongly about that and believe it in their soul as they would make you believe. Because I wasn't really as accepted in the beginning as you would think someone of my stature would be.
Ryan, I appreciate you joining me for Piers Morgan Uncensored. Thank you. What are you currently identifying as?
I'm currently, at the same time, I'm still identifying as a woman of color. And I've said in a few other times, these journeys are often complex. And, sometimes we never know where they're going to take us. We could end up right back where we started. I'm just riding the wave, and wherever it takes me, that's where I'll be.
Well, I wish you all the very best with your journey, Ryan. And thank you very much indeed for joining me.
If you use the same logic that I guess we call them the woke. I mean, it doesn't seem like a strong enough term, but if you just use the same logic or just get them to use their own logic, that's the best defense. It just exposes it. But of course, if you, someone who conspiratorially believes in reality, if you use their logic, of course, they get pissed off at it because they think you're making a mockery of them. And in reality, I don't think we're making a mockery of them. I think we're making a mockery of how they're making a mockery of reality. I declared it, so it's true. I'm a polar bear. I declared it. I need some fish. It's too hot in here for polar bears. I don't like it. There's a reason why the court gesture is part of the archetypal fabric of the human psyche. We need to mock things. We need to ridicule things that are false. That's part of how we identify things that are false. I don't think we need to make fun of people individually. I think we need to mock untruths, no matter what they are. And I think it's important that we be relentless in that pursuit. And this councilman, Ryan Webb, he did a great job mocking it. And the fact that he got picked up on media by parts of the mainstream media helps shine the light of awareness even further on woke absurdities, which is not only needed, I think it's hilarious. So I appreciate you watching this video, my friend. I'll be looking forward to seeing you on our next video on this channel. And also, just once again, if you want to check out the Freedom Isn't Free hat or anything else in the special 4th of July Freedom Collection, along with all the classics and bestsellers in my Freedom Shop, you can go to awakenwithjp.com or hit the link in the description below. So I look forward to seeing you next time, but until then, stay free.